I'm Dustin, and I lost at Paper Rock Scissors
Yeah,
to see
he did.
who had to wear the
Got him with the landslide. Rock, rock, rock.
Who goes rock, rock, rock?
Landslide.
This is
Let's
our
take our time.
quarterback tiers and rankings. We have put a lot more into our rankings and what we're doing with our draft guide stuff. So you're going to want to get on the site. This is 2 months out from the season when we're putting this together.
Remember that.
We're going to be updating our rankings throughout the season. You can get our cheat sheet and a draft guide on our site, and it's free. What's not to like?
Draft guide's great. It's even got little player notes. A lot of work went into that. All right, shout out to Fantasy Jocks. The reason Dustin's wearing this goofy outfit is he is not a fantasy loser. But if you have somebody in your league as a fantasy loser,
Like Donger.
nothing's more fun to make somebody do this. Take a picture, post it on social media, and when you're the winner, you get fancy things like the championship belts. And I know you've seen this belt before, but have you seen this?
Sent us an FST part.
Look at that. You can even do that update on your belts. It's fantastic. FantasyJocks.com. Check it out. All their stuff is amazing. Dustin, talk about Tier 1 quarterbacks, por favor.
Tier 1, I mean, obviously, quarterbacks let down a lot of people last year, especially a lot of top tier guys, but don't completely go away from them in the draft. Don't overcompensate. Lots of fun guys in Tier 1, a lot of upside. Andrew Luck we have at number 3. I want to talk about him. Fully expecting a rebound. I know it was hard. If you owned him last year, very frustrating, but he's going to turn it around. He's Andrew Luck. He'll be fine. Then we have Russell Wilson at number 4. We've seen him as high as 1, and we understand it. You know, Jimmy Graham gets hurt, and that's when Russell Wilson started playing better. That was didn't really see that coming. But the only reason we have him at the bottom of this tier is because sometimes Seattle doesn't ask Russell Wilson to do everything for them sometimes. Not like Cam Newton where it's like, all right, Cam, here you go. Sometimes Russell Wilson, they just ask him to slightly above managing the game. But he played amazing at the end of last year. Tier 1 quarterback, in our opinion, just at the bottom of Tier 1.
And I can't believe we didn't talk about this. The reason we got Rodgers ranked number 1, the return of Jordy Nelson is going to help significantly across the board. And if you look at the body of work over the last couple years with Rodgers, we think it's a safe bet that he's going to be number 1 again. All right, Tier 2, 2 guys I'm talking about. Now I got to go quick because Dustin's already a little upset that I talked about that. Drew Brees is the first one. Week 4 on, there was only one quarterback that was better than Drew Brees, and that's MVP Cam Newton. So Drew Brees definitely showed that he still has a lot left in the tank. And then I also want to talk about Blake Bortles.
Love him.
Bortles, everybody loved him, and I do think he's got a ton of talent, and I think he'll be against all this year, but they did have a great defense. I believe it was NFL.com said that they had the best offseason in terms of defensive additions, which means they won't get as many of those junk time points and touchdowns, but Bortles will still be a very solid QB this year.
Tier 3, still a lot of upside here. I want to talk about Tom Brady. He's in our top 10. We know he's going to miss 4 games. But here's the thing. If you can get Tom Brady and then 3 or 4 rounds later get like a Matt Ryan or something like that just to get you through the first 4 games, you're sitting pretty, and then you got Tom Brady for the rest of the season. So if you go after Brady, make sure you get a solid plan B, but it's still not a bad idea. Tyrod Taylor also makes our top 10. This one was hard for us. I mean, me personally, I have not been a believer the entire time, even when he was doing it last year. It's going to fizzle. He's Tyrod Taylor. Wasn't even all that good in college, blah, blah, blah. But he did it, and it's legit. The rushing yards are a huge bonus with Taylor. We think you should be a little weary, but he's still in our top 10.
We had him high, we had him really low. He moved all over in the summit.
We struggled with this one, but we are a believer at this point. We think he's a real NFL quarterback.
All right, Tier 4, I'm going to talk about 2 young guys. The first one's Jameis Winston. And you know, Winston had a sneaky good fantasy campaign last year. And the reason why, it cannot go understated, the 6 rushing touchdowns that he got. And there's no reason to think that Tampa Bay won't not continue to use him like that all of this year. So expect those rushing touchdowns to help give him a boost. And I also want to talk about Carr for Oakland Raiders. I absolutely loved Carr last year. Almost 4,000 yards and 32 touchdowns. Cooper is a legit number 1 receiver on a team that's really going to help Carr out. And Crabtree really started coming to his own, it felt like, again last year. So Carr, I think, has a ton of upside, and I absolutely love him as a QB2 in 2 quarterback leagues.
Let's take a look at Tier 5. I want to talk about the last 2 in this tier. Matthew Stafford's someone I want to talk about. We got him pretty low, but you got to think Calvin retiring's going to hurt him. I mean, you look at who he's throwing the ball to now. It's a little scary. I mean, I do like Golden Tate, but it just really drops off from there. We're just a little worried about Stafford. We're not sure he's going to get anywhere close to any type of QB1 this year. And then Brock Osweiler's the next guy. He's kind of a late round wild card. I mean, he showed some flashes in Denver. We'll see. He's got Hopkins, though. I mean, you got to think he's going to be able to complete some passes to Hopkins. They got Lamar Miller now. That offense is trending in the right direction. Osweiler could be a sneaky late-round pick.
All right, tier 6, just talking about one guy, and that's RG3, and I am begging you, do not fall into the RG3 hype. Every year somebody takes RG3 because he's like, remember his rookie year, he was so awesome. He was only good the first 10 games of the year, his rookie year too, and then defenses figured him out, and then he got terrible. He's got accuracy issues, and I know there's been some off-season stuff about him that's been good, but the most recent stuff is that whenever he doesn't have pads on, he looks great. As soon as you put pads on, he can still not make reads. He still doesn't have a good touch. I do not think RG3 is going to be great. I don't think he's going to start halfway through the year. I think he'll be on the bench again. That's my personal call.
If he goes late enough, he's a fun gamble. We'll see. But don't go crazy.
Somebody's going to go crazy.
Last tier, Jared Goff I want to talk about with the Rams. Here's the thing with him. Keeper dynasty leagues, get excited about him. Redraft leagues, you're going to need to see it. But that offense is headed in the right direction. You got Gurley. They still need some weapons at the receiver spot, but Austin's been coming on a little bit later. I think there's some upside there. I think this is an offense that is almost about to be good.
Keeper dynasty could be kind of interesting.
I don't know if it'll happen this year, but that offense, like I said, they're trending in the right direction. So.
All right, Dustin, tell them about the photo contest.
We're on Instagram. This would be a good picture to put on there, actually.
It would.
We're on Instagram. We're running a little photo contest. Some people here think it's a good idea. I do. Some people don't think it's a good idea.
I don't know who we're going to get. Prove me wrong, community. We got to bet.
Hashtag FST photo contest. We want to see anything that's cool about your league. If you have loser prizes, if you make someone get a tattoo, or if you have cool trophies, if you do a cool draft party, we want to see it. We're running it through the whole
Or if your team's just
preseason.
awesome. I don't care, anything.
We're running it through August, so get them in there. We're going to pick 5 finalists. You'll get a t-shirt. Depending on how well things do, we are going to have a grand prize, but the level of the grand prize will be better if a lot of people do it. But we're trying to figure that out.
If you post it, you might be one of the 5, so you could get a t-shirt.
You could get something sweet, though. But we want to see it. We want to see what cool things you do in your league, because there are some people out there that do some cool things, and that's what we want to see. Get into our draft guide. Check that out. Fantasy Jocks. Check them out. If you want your own FS t-shirt or other cool shirts, get on thirdndout.com. And
halfback toss, throw it.
Follow us on Instagram.
I wanted him to catch
like
it
us
and
on
throw
Facebook.
It. Let's throw him back to the running
Subscribe to our
back.
channel.
It's not baseball
like
season
this
anymore,
video.
although I am number 1 in baseball right now.
Post a comment in this video.
Baba!
Pen flip.
Get me.
Nope.